Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily market update on this magical Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and the countdown to Christmas has well and truly begun. And I feel like Christmas came early for us in the cryptocurrency space, and we're likely going to see more of that, an extended Christmas, going into the new year. I think the crypto space is destined to do very well. The stars are truly aligned. We're looking at lots of very interesting things technically, not just the Bitcoin chart or the totals, but also Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, which is stablecoin dominance. There's a number of things that we're looking at the moment which lead us to believe that actually this space is going to put on trillions, potentially something like $10 trillion in the next year or so. And we will be doing longer videos on each one of those components, just like we did with our 5 technical reasons why Bitcoin is going higher. So this is a daily market update. Every day we drop one of these at 1 p.m. UK time. For those of you that are new to the channel, we've had lots of subscribers subscribing. We love you all. Thank you very much for your support. We like to cover the space broadly, and also see if there's any sort of crossover and things we should be paying attention to in the broader markets. And today we're going to be starting things off, as we quite often like to do on a Monday, with CoinShares digital asset fund flow reports. And actually, the year-to-date flows this year have quadrupled any other year. Institutions are well and truly here, ladies and gentlemen. It seemed like a pipe dream, certainly when I got into the crypto space, but we are now witnessing some pretty interesting things. And actually, one of the standouts again in regards to this report is XRP. And we know not everyone's into XRP, but I think there's something really fundamentally interesting going on, and we want to share that. There's also a lot of news over the past 24 hours that actually on day one of Trump's sort of actual officially taking role as President of the United States, he's going to enact the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And there's a number of people talking about it. We're going to be taking a look at that also. There was news, I think BitGet put something out yesterday talking about how Eric Trump confirms XRP, ADA, Algo, and HBAR will be exempt from crypto taxes. This is something Trump has said previously as part of the plan to maintain dominance in the United States as far as his technology goes and also fiscally. This, in my opinion, hasn't been confirmed. This is just rumors largely now, and I want to stress that. However, there are going to be some very interesting things coming next year as it relates to crypto, based on this kind of Cold War that's going on. And actually, there's a couple trades to be taken as a result of that, of course, the US trade. But actually, the US has rivals that are going to want to adopt this technology, and there's going to be opportunities there. And I'm going to be exploring that with my Patreons tonight. We've just got back, as I'm sure many of you can see. We're no longer in the Bulgarian Prime Minister's house anymore, as some of you joked in regards to the setting I was previously in. And then Defi, really seeing a massive resurgence, and then we'll finish things off with a little bit of price action. So as always, guys, it's always a jam-packed one. Let's kick things off, and let's kick things off with CoinShares digital asset fund flows. So this is their weekly report, and the initial introduction is year-to-date inflows quadruple any other year at $44.5 billion. And this is, of course, the representation. It wasn't as big as last week. Last week was the biggest inflows ever as far as ETPs went for the cryptocurrency space, exchange traded products. Digital asset investment products saw a continuation of inflows last week, totaling $3.2 billion, the 10th consecutive week, with inflows this year far now totaling an astonishing $44.5 billion. Bitcoin investment products saw inflows totaling $2 billion, bringing total inflows since the US election to $11.5 billion. Ethereum saw the 7th consecutive week of inflows of $1 billion, with inflows over the 7 weeks totaling $3.7 billion. So this is really, really impressive stuff that we're seeing. This is obviously the breakdown of who saw what. Of course, iShares, which is BlackRock's vehicle, really the dominant one. Of course, BlackRock is the dominant force in the sort of investment landscape. Rather interestingly, this is a breakdown of where we saw those flows. Of course, Bitcoin, the king, but Ethereum seeing around about half of that, which is very interesting. The month today, it's around about half of what Bitcoin's seeing. And that would align with broadly what we've been looking at when it comes to dominance and the kind of where we are currently. And this is important because if Bitcoin's going to 300k and dominance is going to 40%, well, you've got a $6, $7, $8 trillion altcoin sector. We don't see other people doing analysis on this, and that sector today stands at 1.5. So you're talking a 5-6x on the altcoin space as a whole, and actually that gives altcoins room to do very, very well. We obviously saw multi-asset products, which I was a little bit surprised about. Real decline. Solana overall down, and actually the real star of the show is XRP. This is over a tenth of Ethereum's volume, nearly 20% of Ethereum's volume without XRP even having a ETF, which is the preferred vehicle. And obviously the vast majority of money is in the United States, and the vast majority of probably investors can't, they'd like to go through the institutional investors would like to go through the sort of what they know, and that's not currently available. And despite that, it's done well over a tenth or 10% of Ethereum's volume last week, and of course on a monthly basis also. That's interesting to me. Very interesting, and I think this hints at a potential ETF on the horizon. I think Solana's going to go on also. I think we're going to end up with a hell of a lot of things we know right now, and this is one way that we've looked at the market and said we're bullish on it. The likes of Bitwise Top 10 Crypto Fund, that's obviously going to get an ETF. Or become an ETF. You're going to get baskets. You're going to get the monetization of this space. And as an investor, we're really front running that as we speak. So this, by all accounts, was very impressive. There was a number of things in regards to where it's a great report that I like to look at. Altcoin XRP saw inflows of $145 million as hopes rise on US listed ETF, while Polkadot and Litecoin saw inflows also, which is also great. I think this is going to be the potential cycle of the Dino coins that all those sort of crypto influencer gatekeepers have been so wrong on, largely because they couldn't pump and dump them on top of you. Lots of news now in regards to Trump eyes Bitcoin reserve on day one. This is going to happen, in my opinion. The aim is to get to 1 million Bitcoin, or certainly that's what's been set out. This is, I can't remember this individual's name. I'm not going to play the clip. He's talking about actually how this is likely going to take place on day one. And it's around about 200,000 Bitcoin a year. There's this Cold War going on, essentially, in regards to this technology. And if globally this technology is viewed as an alternative store of assets, I guess in a roundabout way, but of value, actually it becomes a matter of almost national security to have a hand at play with it. And from the US's point of view, to remain dominant on it. My opinion on the whole thing, or my sort of conspiratorial brain on the whole thing, is that actually this is going to lead to ruin and the rise of a truly we're never going to be allowed our own money. Free Roger Ver, by the way. If you haven't watched Tucker Carlson's Roger Ver interview, please go and do so and start to look into the guy, because Bitcoin is not what it set out to be anymore in regards to Satoshi's vision. But this is very interesting. There's a Cold War going on. We retweeted this. This was apparently posted by BitGet. Crypto tax breaks. Eric Trump confirms XRP, ADA, and Algo and HBAR will be exempt. I haven't seen anything on this at all. I think this is just basically based on, you can see the comment section, and rightfully so. I think this is based essentially on Eric talking about Trump's plan to make the base made tax-free as part of crypto plan. There's nothing confirmed on this, guys. Be very, very careful with this sort of stuff until it happens. And also, the thing is, there's so much great news happening in the world of the cryptocurrency space that we don't need to make things up at this point. But, there's an element of, could it happen? Potentially, certainly going to favor US-based cryptos. Interestingly, Bitcoin mining is helping Europe's energy transition. Mining helps stabilize the continent's, a bit of a slow moment there, grids by using excess energy and by integrating with renewables. It's becoming a key player in the energy landscape. Yeah, and this is very interesting. Coming full circle almost on Bitcoin mining, which I find fascinating. In the past 7 days, Bitcoin TVL, so this is talking more about DeFi, has increased by $3 billion in the past week. Ethereum's TVL by $2 billion. It's essentially more than some of the ETFs saw in terms of TVL. And Hyperliquid's TVL by 1.5. That's interesting. Funds have flowed into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And just last week, we saw $7 billion. So there's a real sort of resurgence coming on in DeFi, whether the sort of purchasing by World Liberty Finance, I can't remember what the name of Trump's project is, or Trump's family project is, whether there's a kind of an element of that. Aave is a big player. They're buying Aave. I think they bought Ondo just yesterday. We'll see, but you're seeing a real sort of resurgence in DeFi. I'm not majorly bullish on DeFi. I think AI and other sectors like that, I'm probably more zealous towards. And just to finish things up, generally on the market as a whole, stick to the plan, guys. Bitcoin's in quite an ascending short-term structure, but I'm not that worried about it given the nature of the market that we're in. This could just basically, stroll out of this, if you will. You don't really want to see ascending structures. You got your sort of uptrends with your descending pullbacks, and then you got your downtrends with your ascending pullbacks. So you kind of don't want to see ascending structure. But given the nature of the market that we're in, certainly going into the new year, if Trump does decide to enact what there's been a lot of speculation on, or is speculating on right now, the strategic Bitcoin reserve, that's a really interesting narrative that's going to see Bitcoin's price continue to do very well. Our predictions for Bitcoin, of course, is we've got 130k, we've got 141k target, and we've also got a 309k target. And that, if Bitcoin gets there and dominance rolls to 40%, you're looking at a colossal altcoin sector. We also looked at the fact that Tether dominance going to 1.2 or 1.3 at a $140 billion market cap. Well, then you've got 98.7% of the rest of the market, which puts it at over a $14 trillion market cap. So there's just this amazing time ahead of us. We'll do our best to make sure you don't miss out on those opportunities. These market updates are really to cover things broadly, to reveal the news that's happened in the past 24 hours plus, because we do one of these dailies. Anything interesting going on, and talk about the space broadly, technically, and every other which way we can look at it, so that you guys have a general understanding of what's going on right now, where the space is at, and then we refine things typically on evenings and through our various outlets like our website, allincrypto.com. Become a patron if you've not already considered it, guys. You will get access to my full portfolio. There's altcoins on there that nobody talks about. There's stocks on there that nobody talks about. And actually today we're about to introduce another one. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Have a magical Monday, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon.